Welcome to Glowing Success. My name is Heidi and I am your host. This podcast is for beauty entrepreneurs. Join me weekly as we dive into the beauty industry's ins and outs, from business strategies, top-selling services, and taboo topics. I will be interviewing industry leaders with empowering stories and game-changing insights. Let's illuminate your path to success together. Let's jump into this next episode. You've poured your heart into your business, but online you hear crickets, you have nothing going on in the DMs, nobody's noticing, it feels like, right? And every time you post, it feels awkward, maybe forced, and just plain salesy. And I hear that word a lot. If this sounds familiar, I get it. I've been there, and so have countless other service-based businesses I work with, okay? So today, I'm going to show you how to be seen, build trust, and attract clients without ever feeling pushy or salesy, okay? So here's the thing. Most service-based businesses, they're not invisible because they're not talented or passionate, okay? Your passion is there, right? Your talent is there. They're invisible because their marketing isn't connecting, okay? And usually it comes down to one big missing piece, and that's clarity. So clarity on two different things, though. So number one, who exactly you want to attract. So who the ideal client is, who do you want to bring in the door? And if you're trying to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one. And I know I've said this many, many times, but it's so true. Number two, why you're the service provider they should choose. Because we all know, as service-based businesses, there's other businesses out there that do the same exact services and probably in the same proximity to us, right? What makes you different? If your audience, let's say online, can't quickly see why you are the right person for them, they're going to scroll right past you, right? People's attention spans are short. So on top of that, many business owners are posting inconsistently, and I see this a lot too. So trying to follow trends that don't fit their businesses is the other thing I see, right? And trends are great as long as you're fitting that into what your business is about, what your client's about, what your messaging is about, okay? So I'm not hating on trends. It's just I see a lot of people doing trends that just don't fit with what they're trying to do. So a lot of these people, they focus on the service instead of the real problem you solve. So so let's not just talk about the services and then not talk about the problem that those services solve. So all of this creates the frustration that people feel, the burnout, and then you end up being stuck. You feel like everything you've tried in marketing isn't working, and why should I try anymore? And then you just feel complacent, right? So here goes the mindset that I want you to kind of work on, okay? The shift that changes everything is being seen online isn't about shouting louder. It's about being clear, consistent, and relatable. And I want you to remember that word relatable, okay? So clarity beats cleverness, right? So you being clear and direct, it's going to beat you being clever every day. If your audience doesn't know what problem you solve, it doesn't matter how pretty your posts are. It doesn't matter how beautiful those videos are. It doesn't matter how beautiful your static posts are. If you're not clear of what you're doing and you're not making that connection, and also connection beats perfection. So I will also say people want relatable content. People want content that doesn't feel super produced. You don't need perfect images or a fancy, super fancy caption. You need to show up as who you are. You need to be relatable. People need to connect with you, okay? And then honestly, just show up consistently. So that frequency beats all the fancy posts too, right? So I truly believe being consistent sometimes will even beat one viral post, okay? Because people are going to be seeing it. They're going to be able to share it. People are going to become you are part of their feed now, okay? How do you start being seen without feeling salesy though? So I hear this a lot. This word always stumbles around in my coaching sessions of, well, I don't want to feel pushy. I don't want to feel salesy. Number one, or step one, you need to identify your ideal client's pain point. So when you think of your client, think of, okay, so they're coming in for your service. So let's say you do facials. Instead of saying, I offer facials. Hi, I'm Heidi. I am in Minnetonka, Minnesota, and I offer facials. And you have this beautiful video of this facial that you offer, and it's gorgeous. Now, the visuals might hook people in, but they don't know why they should choose you, right? So maybe say, are you tired of waking up to breakouts no matter what you try? And make it about them, right? Not your service necessarily. Make it about what that service can do for them. Make it about that problem that you're wanting to solve for them. Okay? I'm hoping that makes sense. Step 2, or like number 2, or the second thing that you should focus on without feeling salesy, is show up with your voice. So I want you to show up online. So maybe you can share like mini stories about how you started your business, or like behind the scenes moments. I love watching those of how people set up for a facial. That's a really good one. Or even your opinions. So if you have strong opinions about a service or a product, people want to hear it. You know what I mean? So if you have a strong opinion about microneedling and how you love it and how you think it's like way better than every other service, very controversial, but people want to hear that. People are going to be probably relating to that, right? So your audience online specifically wants to see you, not just your brand. And I know you have heard me say this before, but that's also why I suggest you change your profile picture on social media to a picture of you, because I don't care about your brand. I don't care about your logo. I want to see who is treating me. I want to see who I'm going to be seeing for my service, right? And I always suggest you share your story of why you opened your business. So like that's always something that I suggest everybody to do, because I love hearing it. And I think that is something that people can resonate with, people can get to know you with. You can also share this about your favorite service too, like why you offer, something that you offer, why you're known for something, why that's your go-to service. People want to hear from you. People want to see you. Now, with that being said, you don't necessarily need to be talking to the camera, because I hear this a lot too from people. They're like, well, I'm a little bit shy, or I don't have a lot of experience on camera, or, right? So what I always suggest people doing though is if that's you, I want you to post a video, so a reel. So maybe you could be showing, setting up for your facial, and you could be talking over that video. So you could do voice over that video, and all the apps, Instagram, TikTok, InShot, CapCut, whatever you use, they all have an option where you can do a voiceover. So that is a good way to show up. But I promise you, the more you start doing videos, the more you start showing up on camera, the easier it will become. So I want you to try that, and I want to head in that direction eventually. But yes, I understand everybody has to start somewhere, okay? Step 3, post with purpose. So, every post should like do something. Try posting one problem-solving tip of the week, let's say, or a personal story, or one behind the scenes moment. That's it. That's enough to start connecting. But ask yourself, like, why am I posting this? What kind of emotion am I eliciting from my clients? Like, what am I trying to do here? About feeling also salesy, here's the trick. You're not selling. Okay, you are serving. And I think that's a huge one for a lot of people to connect with, is I'm not selling to somebody, I'm actually serving. I'm actually, solving that problem, like we said earlier, right? That client doesn't want to wake up with acne anymore. So this is my thing that I'm serving you with to, not have that problem anymore. So think of your post as a way to help people, not push them, okay? And then also like connect to what you're feeling, and then show them what's possible. So connect with them about, that feeling of frustration that they have about that acne, let's say. And so when your content starts to make them feel, understood or related to or hopeful even, you don't necessarily have to nudge them to book even. That'll happen naturally, because all of a sudden they feel connected to what you're saying, okay? You can think of it like you could be doing a post of, here's how I can help you feel clarity in your skin, easier morning, something like that, okay? But try that mantra of, I'm not selling, I'm serving, before you post or before you do anything really. And you can say it before you post it. And I promise you, it'll probably change the energy that you bring into that post or bring into that activity. If you are feeling ambitious but feeling invisible, remember, clarity connection, and consistency will get you seen, right? And then focus on the problem you solve, show up as yourself, and post with purpose. And if you're ready to stop feeling invisible and start attracting clients, follow me on social media if you haven't already. I am mostly on Instagram and TikTok, and I post a lot of things on there to hopefully help you, post things. I give ideas, I give all sorts of inspiration. Of course, I want you to subscribe and follow this podcast so you're never missing an episode. Every Wednesday, I come out with a new episode. And if you, of course, want more tips that are customized to you, I want you to DM me your biggest marketing struggle. I want to help you. I want to hear about it. So I highly suggest go over to either Instagram or TikTok to do that. I will look at my DMs at some part of the day. And of course, thank you for listening and see you next week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd love for you to leave a review. It really helps more people find the show. And if you know someone who'd also enjoy it, share it with them or tag me on Instagram so I can thank you. New episodes come out every week, so be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. See you next time.